Anthony Maclin was asleep in a rental car in the driveway of his grandmother's house. His grandmother called police because she didn't recognize the car in her driveway.
This will not end well.
This video was intended to inform and educate the public.
Welcome to this episode of the Junkyard News. And in today's video news story, a case against two Indianapolis police officers who in the next couple months will be going to trial for an incident back in 2022 and what they're accused of doing.
Prior to the shooting, the three officers are seen on video shining their flashlights into the rental car. One of the officers says Maclin has a gun.
We will also be showing you body camera clips and a news clip about this incident. But first, let me give you the gist of what happened. Back in 2022, a homeowner, a grandmother, called 911 because she awoke around 4 a.m. to notice a vehicle that she didn't recognize in the dark that was parked in her driveway.
That's the 911. Where's the location of your emergency?
36 North Oxford. I don't know if it's a true. There's a car backed up in my driveway, and it feels like it's still running. And I turned off my...
Okay. What color is the vehicle?
Black. It looks black.
What's the make and model, do you know?
I can't make it out.
Is it a car, truck, SUV?
Huh?
Is it a car, truck, SUV?
It's a car.
Four-door car?
It looks like it.
Okay. And it's backed up in your driveway, idling?
Yes, it looks like it's on. And I clicked the porch light off and on, and nobody came out, and I don't want to go out to see it. Who's out there? I don't know. I don't know if it's one of my kids. I don't know. Nobody is getting out.
Okay, stay on the line. Don't hang up.
Okay.
IMPD officers arrived and made contact with the homeowner, who again said she did not recognize the car.
She even claims that it looked like the car was running and had been sitting there for a little while. Unbeknownst to her, her grandson, not wanting to wake up his grandparents, decided to take a nap in the vehicle instead of barging in the home and possibly waking his family up. How considerate. Now her grandson, also wanting to abide by law and being an advocate for the Second Amendment and being armed for one's self-defense, did apply and was granted and had in his possession a license to carry. You might think a license to carry? Yes, a license to carry a firearm for self-defense. Now, after the grandmother awoke at 4 a.m. and noticed what she perceived as an unknown vehicle in her driveway, she called 911 to ask them to investigate, stating she didn't want to go out there and confront somebody she didn't know. After all, the car looked black, and her grandson drove a red car. Now, when police arrived, they walked up to the vehicle and used their flashlights to look inside, and saw the man sitting in the vehicle appearing to be asleep. After the police had a little conference and a little powwow, they decided to wake the man up after their attempts of gaining entry into the car by lifting the car handles failed, as the car doors were all locked. So after these officers colluded with each other to figure out what their next step was going to be, they decided to bang on the window, startle the man, everybody yelling different orders, and when the man's hands moved, next thing you know, the officers all step back and do a mag dump on the car. That's right. 30 rounds into this car, striking the man in the vehicle numerous times. Now, it's claimed the man never reached for the firearm, never touched the firearm, also was in legal possession of the firearm, had his license to carry with him, but it just goes to show you that when it comes to the Second Amendment and police, if cops see a weapon anywhere near a person, they consider it a threat. And it's a shoot first and ask questions later. And you know what? If we make a mistake, oh well, we have qualified immunity to fall back on. Now the sad part is after the officers finished mag dumping on this vehicle and striking the individual in the car numerous times, once the car and the color of the vehicle was more visible to the grandmother, she started screaming at the cops, "That's my grandson, that's my grandson." But it didn't stop them from grabbing the man, putting him on the ground, even though he was wounded. But it didn't stop the cops from treating the man like a criminal after they had just mag dumped into the vehicle and almost killed this man. This man was taken to the hospital, had to go through numerous surgeries, is lucky to be alive. Now, a grand jury did indict these officers on numerous felonies, none of which I believe, though, were any type of attempted murder. All the charges seem to hover around assault charges with deadly weapons. These charges include aggravated battery use when the assault poses a substantial risk of death, aggravated battery use when results in loss or impairment to bodily functions, battery by means of a deadly weapon, battery resulting in serious bodily injury, criminal recklessness committed with a deadly weapon, and battery resulting in moderate bodily injury. These are the charges a grand jury felt were fitting against these two police officers, and their trial date is coming up in November. Both charged officers pled not guilty back in 2022 in the shooting. Now, the injured man and his grandmother both filed federal lawsuits against IMPD for this incident. But according to the lawsuit, Maclin never grabbed the gun that was on his lap. The lawsuit also claims officers never told Maclin to drop the gun, or other words to that effect, failing to attempt to use de-escalation techniques or other methods to verify who Maclin was to his grandmother. While officers are providing aid, Maclin explains he didn't call his grandmother because he didn't want to wake her up, and that's why he did not go inside as well. Police did say they recovered a 9mm handgun from the front seat. Maclin was never arrested in the incident. According to Maclin's attorney, the officers fired at least 30 shots, hitting Maclin 3 times. He was hospitalized for 18 days and underwent 6 surgeries. Maclin's attorney claims he never had the gun anywhere near his hand. His attorney says Anthony is not accused or was ever accused of committing any crime. He was not drunk or on intoxicants. While Anthony had a firearm in the car and a license to carry the firearm, he never reached for the gun or made any movement toward the firearm whatsoever. In other words, the officers just knew there was a firearm in plain view, and damn the Second Amendment, damn being on private property, it's shoot first and ask questions later. After all, if you have a weapon on you, whether legal or not, you are a threat, and officer safety trumps all, according to police. Now, hopefully the family's lawsuit gets through qualified immunity, and we'll have to wait and see. Again, these officers are due to return to court on a possible jury trial in November, and we will be staying tuned to this story to see how that plays out. Again, these are all felony charges against them, and if they are convicted, that is going to be the end of their law enforcement careers. Maybe these officers are just hoping for a really good plea deal, which will include dropping the felony charges for a few misdemeanor charges and potentially and hopefully saving their law enforcement careers, not to mention keeping them out of prison. So here's a news clip about the incident and the body camera video. Be careful, people. Who knows? The next video or news story that we cover on this channel, we could be showing a video and news story about you in the future. Thanks again.
He's got a gun right on his lap. He's got a gun right on his lap.
When police arrived at the 3600 block of North Oxford Drive, a man was asleep in the car. Officers attempted to open the car, but it was locked. One officer ran the plates, which were registered in Florida.
Do any of your grandkids live in Florida?
The homeowner said no. Yeah. Officers began to wake up the driver. After 8 seconds, shots are fired.
Police department!
Police! 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 Put your hand!
The homeowner quickly realized it was her grandson, 24-year-old Anthony Maclin, in the car.
As soon as I heard anything, I immediately wake up and just look to my right and left and immediately was getting shot at.
The first command Maclin was given was to get out of the car after being shot at 30 times.
Get on the ground! Get on the ground! Get on the ground! Get on the ground, baby.
In the edited video, IMPD says Maclin moved his arm when they woke him up. You then hear why Maclin says he was sleeping in the driveway.
Because I didn't want to wake you guys up.
Maclin spent 17 days in the hospital and needed 6 surgeries after being hit with 3 bullets.
Not knowing, what's going on, and once I got out of the car, I see my grandmother and disbelief in her eyes.
What we know is that the body cameras don't show everything. They don't show everything that an officer sees or experiences.
He's got a gun right on his lap. He's got a gun right on his lap. Yeah.
334.
See it right there?
Yeah.
Officers attempted to open the door and retrieve the handgun, but the doors were locked.
Do you want me to go to try to open this door and grab it? It's locked.
It's hard to... Is it locked? Yeah, it's locked. If you try the back door, try it lightly though.
Officer Riley ran the plate on the car, which was registered out of Florida. He asked the homeowner, who was also the 911 caller, if she had any relatives in Florida. She said she did not.
Don't know who it is.
Do any of your grandkids live in Florida? Yeah.
After approximately 3 minutes, officers knocked on the passenger side window. As the driver awoke, he began to move and officers discharged their firearms. 3 IMPD officers discharged their service weapons. Following the officer's instructions, the man exited the car. He was detained, and IMPD officers then provided medical aid until paramedics arrived.
Can you see if the driver's already on there?
334.
No, I think they all are.
Good. It is negative active EAN holding to a
Press this button since they all on.
Kia 4-door, red in color.
Let's go ahead and wake him up. I'm going to stand right here. Chandler, if he falls on that gun or does anything,
Yeah.
yell.
Yeah.
I mean, I...
Police department. Police! 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 Put your hand. Shots fired, shots fired. Get out the car with your hands up. Get out of the car, get on the ground. 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 Get on the ground, baby. Holy crap. Cuff him. That's my grandson. He's okay. Fucking shit. Control shots fired. Start as a medic. Yes. Heads up, bud. You're alright. Where you hit, man? Guys, hold on. You guys gotta get me up. We're at here. Hey, get my medic kit. Hey, you guys gotta get driver's seat on the back.
Hey, Grandma, is it okay, Grandma?
It's okay. Fucking shit.
Grandma, because I didn't want to wake you guys up.
Oh.
You guys gotta get me out of these guns, guys.
Just be careful. We're gonna see where you hit. It's okay, man.
Oh.
Guys, here, let me up.
Guys, you gotta get me out of the guns, sir. You gotta get me out of the guns, man.
I got it. Did you get my kit?
No,
you gotta test
you gotta help me, guys.
One of these days, these boots are gonna walk all over you.